Same. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the WAP show. You're listening to Suleiman, who is your host for the night, and I'm joined by two other beautiful gentlemen, mashallah. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Subhanallah.
My name is Sully, the younger Sully.
My name is Ado. You can call me the wise one.
And together we make the group known as Waves of Positivity. So today we're going to be discussing what we're all about and how we actually started, basically. We're going to be talking about having a positive mindset, how to turn any negative situation into a positive situation. And we're going to show you guys why and how a positive mindset is going to be your key skill, key asset in order to progress and become successful in this life. And just before we get started, I just want to remind you that you're listening to the Ramadan special on EAVA FM 102.5 FM. You can tune in live to our Facebook live video as well on Facebook, Ramadan.fm. You can call us on 0116 212 9324 or text us on 07450 925 084. So if you have any questions along the show, please text them in. We'll be happy to respond. And it's nice to know that there's people out there listening to us as well.
Of course.
I think we should do a little thing. Every time someone messages in, we will donate £1 from Waves of Positivity. So every text message we get, we'll donate £1.
£1 each?
£1 each,
Will
£1
that go
together.
towards Tough Mudder? Would that go towards our Tough Mudder?
Yeah, so that reminds me actually, we are raising money for the people of Yemen. As we all know, Yemen is going through a civil war, 4-year civil war, and they say that a child is dying every 10 minutes of hunger. No child deserves like that. So the three of us, along with a few other friends, we've decided to do a Tough Mudder challenge at the end of July to raise money. So we are going to put a link in the comments of the live video. So feel free to go click on it and donate however much you feel like donating, inshallah.
Pennies make pounds. So even if it's a penny, even if it's a pound, you'll get the reward for every single person that has donated. So if you donate 1p, right, and everyone else donates more, you'll still get the reward of everyone's barakah. So inshallah, just do it from the bottom of your heart with sincerity, and may Allah reward you.
Cool.
And finally, sorry to interrupt, just before we start, these two have not let me do the intro at all. So I've been preparing my vocal cords for this for the whole time.
Bismillah, may Allah help us.
Welcome to the WAP show.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's my intro.
It's a bit short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so Waves of Positivity, 3 individuals have come together to better the lives of the people around us. Our content on Instagram is mainly for the people aged between 16 to 30, aka the millennials. However, anyone is welcome to watch our videos and sort of tune in and engage with us. Now, what we tend to do is remove the negative aspects of individuals' lives and replace them with the positive ones. So we cover the five aspects of personal development, which is mental, emotional, spiritual, social, and physical.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, as we said, we're going to talk about a positive mindset. And we're going to talk about optimism, pessimism, realism, and all that kind of stuff. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the impacts of having a negative mindset, how it affects you personally, how it affects you professionally, in your progress in life, and all that kind of stuff. So, I want to start by mentioning some of the issues that arise by having a negative mindset. So your thinking, the way you think, has a direct effect on your behavior, your attitude, and your actions. And further to that, it'll have an effect on the people around you. It'll have an effect of how people treat you. Generally speaking, people don't like negative people. People don't like people that are constantly complaining, or they just have that negative vibe around them. So it's gonna limit your opportunities. So for example, if you go for like a job interview, and if you're a negative person and you're already going in there thinking, oh, I'm not gonna get this job, the other person's they're gonna get the signal. They're gonna see that you're a negative person, and they're gonna straight away remove you from their shortlist, and you're not gonna get that job.
Just a quick one. I know we're talking about the topic, but I've already put the link into the live stream, so please go check out the live stream, donate if you can. And also want to say, what you guys just mentioned about going into interview with a negative mindset, I feel like it encompasses in everything you do.
Yeah.
So if you're a business person and you've got a business and you're not confident in what you're going to be providing to people, people are not going to trust your vibe because you already feel negative, you already are not confident. People aren't going to want your business because they're going to realize that you're not confident in your own service you're providing.
Of course. And talking about business, imagine you have like a negative attitude towards your customers, and that shows bad customer service. However, then businesses that show good customer service, that show positive energy, you tend to be a loyal customer with them.
Yeah, of course. Like energy, this positivity and negativity is energy at the end of the day, and energy is contagious. If you put out positive energy, you're going to get positive energy back. If you put out negative energy, you're going to get negative energy back. But the one thing I do say is every single individual, they have that power to switch that energy around. So if someone puts negative energy onto you or positive energy onto you, you have that decision, you have that mental decision to make where you can switch it. So for example, if someone comes to you and they do something negative and it puts your mood off or it makes you want to do things that you're not supposed to do, you have that choice, you have that power, you have that decision to change it and do something positive. It's energy at the end of the day, but it's how you output it, which is your decision, and it's an option that's given to you as a human being.
Talk about energy. Think about a battery, right? It's got a positive side and a negative side. Now, if you have a negative side to battery, it'll work, and if you have a positive side to battery, it'll work. Without one or the other, the battery will no longer power. So think about this: so everything you have in your life that is negative energy, use that as fuel to fuel the battery of life, to put out more positive energy to allow your life to keep flowing, to keep going. Because if you don't have no negativity flowing into your life, you're not going to have anything to inspire you, to push you and motivate you to carry on with your positivity, because then you'll just be a flat battery.
Of course. Yeah, like the impact that negative mindset has on you, like personally and emotionally, is that you will have a negative approach to everything in life as a whole. And not only standard things, you'll have a negative approach to things that are meant to be positive, like anything you talk about, news, you could be talking about traveling, you could talk about anything, you'll always have something negative to say rather than something positive.
Yeah, I agree.
I just want to talk about a very quick thing, which is, so people are constantly talking about obviously being a negative person, being a positive person. How about you're just a good person? So you've got negativity flowing in your life, and you have, say for example, someone very close to you is feeling very unhappy, and that unhappiness is going to obviously flow over to you, because you want to help that person. But by helping a person become positive, you're putting out more positive vibes into the world, even though you yourself are becoming part of that negativity that is in their life. So you're attracting it into yourself, feeling more down, feeling a bit more negative. I don't know if you guys have ever helped someone and you felt the negative energy come onto you.
It's self-draining. That's what it is.
But at the same time, you got to remember the fact that you're putting a positive spark into someone else's life. So you should be, you should feel strong enough to absorb it. And
I mean, this is why obviously Islam teaches us like to do random small acts of kindness, because you never know. Basically, a massive fire starts from what? A spark.
Yeah.
So if you're able to put that spark in someone else's life, you don't know what that can result into. You don't know what great that other person can do. Do you know what I'm saying? So you should always try put out positive energy wherever you can. Now, I do want to mention that obviously it is virtually impossible for a single human being to be 100% positive 100% of the time. There are going to be moments where we're going to feel negative, where we're going to feel down, upset, anxious, fearful, all these kind of things. But what we have to do is realize that there's always going to be a way out. You know, no matter how bad things may seem to get, we got to have that attitude where
you have to have that positive mindset to get over that specific hurdle.
Exactly, 100%. Because nothing in life will slow you down quite like a negative mindset. Why? Because it's eating you up from the inside. And something that's eating up from the inside is something that's very hard to deal with. It's something very hard to cure. And I know this because like recently I've been going through something quite negative in my personal life, and it's been holding me back on all my aspects, in everything. But
no, I still see you fighting, man.
But that's the thing. He doesn't allow that to sort of brush it onto us.
I had this negative vibe around me for a few days, but it took me a while to finally realize that there is a way out.
Of course.
I can't let this hold me back. I've got other things to do. I haven't got time to dwell on the past. I've got to move on. I've got to come up with a solution and move on. This is what humans are made to do.
Of course.
We are made to progress. We are made to advance. We're made to come up with solutions. That's what we're made to do.
100%.
And how you're saying about affecting those around you in a good way, that's why if you have a negative attitude, you can affect people around you in a bad way as well. You can put them off from their optimism. So imagine like Adil, he has such good vibes. Imagine I'm a negative person, and constantly every day I'm complaining and backbiting about someone. Soon enough, if you're not strong enough to be positive, you'd start to copy my bad habits, and you'd bring them bad habits into your life. So that's why we need to watch out of the sort of what's it called,
vibes
there that you give to the people around you, and your peers as well.
think about. All right, so I was watching the video, and it was actually really smart. So it's African doctor, and he shook 2 bottles of Coca-Cola. This might sound crazy, but hear what I'm going to say now. Yeah, so he shook 2 bottles of Coca-Cola, and he unscrewed, opened one of them, and all the fizz flew everywhere. Only a quarter of the bottle was left.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other one was left closed, and it settled and sunk back, and it was still a full bottle of Coca-Cola. And what he said was, all the bad energy happening in your life can happen to 2 different people, but one person will open up and they'll speak bad energy into the world and affect everyone around them. So when you're angry and you bubble and you boil, but one person will take a step back, walk away from the situation, take time to think about what the cause was that made him angry, think through it himself, and then settle down so his anger does not affect everyone around him. That's the same thing with bad energy. You have bad energy bubbling inside of you. Take a step back, review yourself, think about what this bad energy, what is it going to help you with? Is it going to help anyone around you? Then from reevaluating your actions, you'll be able to realize, I don't want to put this bad energy out there, and you'll slow down and you won't put it out into the world.
Of course. And that affects your relationships with your friends, families, and etc. It would cause more arguments. If you're negative, it will cause more arguments, more fallouts, arrogance, being stubborn, etc. You'd never make up or forgive the person if you're always going to be negative. If you're positive, you're easy forgiving. You'd become friends quicker.
I think if you have a positive mindset, honestly, it just makes your life so easygoing because you'll be a lot more relaxed. You'll be a lot more happier with your life because you understand or you have this hope that everything will get better at the end or there's going to be a way out, like I was saying earlier on. So, I've experienced this. For me, when I was going through my rough time, many, many years ago, I just made this conscious decision that, I'm just going to be positive minded and I'm not going to let things slow me down.
That's good.
And as soon as I made that decision, I seen massive, drastic effects into my life.
I just want to remind everyone, every single person that texts through to today's show, Waves of Positivity, are going to be donating £1 or £1 each towards the Tough Mudder race we are running for the people in Yemen.
In Yemen, that's it.
Imagine, all you got to do is text salam or something, and that's it. That's £3.
Something positive.
That's £3 reward gone for you.
Inshallah.
So you're listening to Ramadan special on EAVA FM. You can tune into the Facebook Live at ramadan.fm. The text line is 07450 925 084. I know it's late in the night, but you're feeling like you want to call in.
Generous. Feeling generous.
You can call in as well on 0116 212 9324. You can also drop your questions and comments on the Facebook Live as well. We will be reading them out as well.
Inshallah.
So going back to the topic, I think we've kind of discussed or touched upon the negative mindset and how that kind of can drain a human being or how that has negative impacts. So let's focus more on the positive side. If you have a positive mindset, what benefits can it bring for a human being? How can it change your life for the better?
I think first of all, we need to understand what a positive mindset is and how to acquire one as well. So in essence, what I would say is that, having a positive mindset, you've got to make sure that it's functioning full time, 24/7. That means that even in negative situations, you have to find a salvation that will lead it to a positive one. I know I've said this in a previous video. But
where's the video? Where can people find it?
On our Waves of Positivity, Instagram, IGTV. If you scroll all the way past.
The link for that is in the comment. So you can check out our previous videos and future videos there, obviously, inshallah.
Indeed. So, we can all admit this. Being positive is not easy. It's like a task. You have to get used to it. It's not easy as
it takes a strong human being.
Of course, and obviously gradually you'll get used to it. Even if you don't feel like doing so, it'll become a habit at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%.
I think.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Jazakallah. The way you like to see it is like you're saying, positive energy can be rubbed off. So if you're a positive person, you're around your friends constantly, you're smiling. I know Sully A's got a habit of constantly smiling. You can tease him so much and you just smile in your face. MashaAllah. But it stops a person from being cruel or for saying things that are disrespectful to another human being, and it'll make them want to become more positive because, like I say, you got a group of 5 friends, right? And the one person there can change that group of 5 friends to becoming positive people. Like I say, you are like the 5 people closest to you.
Of course, yeah.
So if you have it takes one friend to make a group of 5 people positive, and say one of them goes to their group of 5 friends and then they all become positive, you're spreading positive energy around the world. So I feel
Domino effect, yeah.
100%.
We have a comment from brother Ifaz Ahmed. He says, "Salams, boys. Keep up the good work. Love seeing the young brothers spreading positivity in the community.
Alhamdulillah.
Guys, is that our first donation that we've got through, yeah?
Subhanallah,
Let's
man.
go. £3 already in the bank. Jazakallah khair.
So yeah, of course, just messaging. Quick one about Brother Ifaz, alhamdulillah, he is a very positive gentleman himself. I was talking about positive energy, right? So when I started all the work, I started off at a football academy, which was run by Ifaz. Alhamdulillah, through his positive mindset, I've become a more positive and learned person.
Alhamdulillah.
So it shows one person can change your life and they don't even realize. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I agree. Very inspirational individual. Alhamdulillah. All right, so we were discussing what positive mindset is.
Yeah.
Now, the way I think of it is, a positive person is not someone who's just always looking at the positive stuff and ignoring the negative things.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, having a positive mindset means acknowledging the bad things that are happening, the negatives that are happening at that moment, but realizing, again, I've said this so many times, but I'm going to keep saying it, that there's a way out, that there is some kind of hope. That is what a positive mindset to me is.
Positive mindset for me is someone who inspires those around them to become better. So you can have a positive mindset, but what are you doing with it? And I feel like if you're spreading more love around the world, then you are a positive mindset that's influencing the mind of others to better themselves.
Yeah, indeed. All right, so obviously there's been a lot of research that's gone into having a positive mindset. You know, what kind of effects it has on your physical health, your mental health, your business relationships, your personal relationships, etc. And there was, I think Sully brought this study to us actually. There was a study by Harvard Health
in 2006.
In 2006, they explored the link between emotions and viral infections, and the scientists evaluated that the personality style of 193 healthy volunteers then gave each a common respiratory virus. So what this is saying is, if you're able to maintain a healthy mindset, then in turn, you will just automatically have a healthier body.
Of course. And the subjects who displayed a positive personality style were less likely to develop the viral symptoms than their less positive peers. So what we learn from this is obviously, you know, as we all say, our body is a chemical compound. So, you know, it resembles our behavior, it resembles our mindset.
Yeah, yeah. It reduces things like anxiety, fear, depression, sadness. It takes all this kind of stuff out of your life, or it at least takes some of it away.
Yeah, because your first approach are the positive things rather than the negative things.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you guys ever been in school and you've seen the kid that's always down is always ill as well?
Yeah.
So the one kid that's always down, he's always ill.
Yeah.
Because his immune system has become weakened due to him giving up on taking care of himself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're always positive, healthy, you're going to want to have more positive actions in your life. So you're going to want to take care of your body, your exterior, how you look, and also on how you interact with day-to-day people. So it's actually said that people who actually hug or shake hands are less likely to become ill because of the bacteria that stops you from getting ill. You only really hug and shake someone's hands when you're really happy. Mm-hmm. When you're upset, you kind of stay away from people, right?
Yeah.
Indeed. So it all has it has an impact on how you engage yourself in your day-to-day.
Yeah, I agree, man. Honestly, there's an endless list of benefits of just having a positive mindset. We could sit here all night and we can just, you know, blabber on about the benefits.
I think one of the best things about having a positive mindset is that, you know, when life throws obstacles at you and hurdles at you, when you have a positive mindset, you'll always find a way to get over that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rather, if you're negative, you allow the hurdles and obstacles to sort of take over your life.
The thing is with a negative mindset, as soon as you tell yourself, I can't do this, or this is too difficult for me, or anything like that, your chances of overcoming that obstacle automatically are taken down. Like, I would argue that your chances become almost zero. Let's make a scenario where there's, I don't know, two twin brothers. They have the same background, they have same upbringing, same group of friends, same school, and they both come out with, you know, they fail their exams from GCSEs. Okay. And now one brother, he's thinking, oh, that's it, I can't get a job, there's no way I'm going to make it in life. And the other brother's like, oh no, I still got hope, I can retake my exams, I can find a job, I can make experience, I can volunteer and stuff like that. which one's going to be successful? You tell me.
Of course, the
one
positive
takes
one.
action.
There's
man.
no way the other guy's going to be successful. There's no way. Until he changes his mindset, there's no way. This is why I say that your mindset is your pathway to your success or your failure.
I love that. Where's that quote from?
First IGTV video ever. Only the OGs will know that, though.
I want to talk about a subject that obviously Brother Sully has kindly plugged into this conversation, and that is about your mental health and how a positive attitude and a negative attitude can impact that. Now, we're talking about action and how you yourself perceive to others, or how you look to others, right? So when you're someone who has a negative mindset, it has an effect on everyone around you, but it also has a major effect on your mental capacity and how you interact. So someone who is negative will automatically start to seclude himself from society, allowing him to constantly feel alone and leave himself with his thoughts. This is something that I'm sure many of us have had, and we don't enjoy the feeling, right? Now imagine that happening on a 24/7 scale, because you've secluded yourself, you stopped interacting with other human beings, you stopped working on yourself and your goals. You're now feeling all alone and left by yourself in the world. What emotion is that happens? What emotion is created? Can you guys tell me?
I think so. Basically, you're talking about ghosting, right? The term that we use, the millennials, right? We like the word ghosting.
Yeah, ghosting.
Go ahead, Sully.
So I do this quite when I'm in a dark place. That's what I'll do. I will try to keep away from everything and everyone, just because I feel like, being alone at times, just having that space, just to think about stuff, think about the situation you're in, and also appreciate the situation you're in. Just gives me a chance to gather my thoughts, clear my mind, and find a way, or find some kind of path, or find some kind of sustenance out of the situation I'm in.
Alhamdulillah. Very quick one. Brother Ifaz was trying to call on the line. Can you read out the line for the radio show, please?
So if you could call in on 0116 212 9324. That's 0116 212 9324. I think
Inshallah,
we should comment that into the Facebook video so people get to see that as well.
We have a text. We have a first text now.
Okay, so good advice I've heard is that to see things outside of yourself in a positive way starts with the view of yourself. It's important to stop putting yourself down and being so spiteful to yourself.
Mental well-being, that's it.
Ifaz is on his way, inshallah. Can we have our first guest speaker on the WAP show?
Okay. All right, so let's not forget, that's another £3 we have to donate. So we're up to £6, lads.
Alhamdulillah. Text in, guys, 07450 925084, and you can be donating through one text message £3.
Imagine we don't even want your money to donate. You just need to text it and we're donating our money, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Where else do you get that apart from the WAP show?
Let's not miss out brother Samir Kadri's comment. He says, loving the smile, lads.
Always smile. Alhamdulillah. That's one person we've impacted, feeling our positive vibes through the radio show. Subhanallah.
The energy.
So I was going to say, and someone will double our donations today. Subhanallah. Guys, please donate in and you will double donations towards the children in Yemen.
So we're actually at, what was it, 12 now?
£12, inshallah.
Who's going to double that?
Subhanallah. Alright, so the emotion I was looking for you guys to mention was depression.
Yeah.
When you seclude yourself from society, you're making yourself more alone, you've stopped working on yourself, and you've stopped feeling more positive, which allows you to fall into feeling depressed. And the thing about depression is it's from constant negativity and negative thoughts in your life that makes you fall into depression, which makes a loop cycle that you constantly feel. Now, that's from having negative thoughts constantly. But if you have positive thoughts constantly, you just create an opposite emotion. You're constantly happy, constantly working hard, and you have less likelihood of having an impact on your physical health, your mental health, and you're making others around you feel better. So that's why negative thoughts should not be something you're constantly dwelling in. Like the Prophet ﷺ said, that a human being should never have depression, anxiety, or lack of faith, because this has a big impact on you overall as a human being.
So we've touched upon
to the closest hadith, inshallah.
So that obviously comes off to another narration saying, hoping for good is also an act of worship, and that is in Tirmidhi and Hakim. So obviously we can implement that into our lives and sort of take the...
So having a positive mindset is a form of
Ibadah.
You're getting a reward for it. So
And for someone to be dwelling in negative thoughts is a form of sin. And as hard as it is to stop that, a believer should constantly be working towards feeling positive.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because you're affecting those around you.
That's quite
the whole
amazing.
point.
That's honestly quite amazing. I didn't know that till today. Honestly, that's quite amazing about our religion, that we're getting rewarded by having a positive mindset. And obviously that's something that us three and a lot of people around us have been working towards.
Yeah, because realistically, you're putting all your faith in Allah because we can't predict the future. Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
by putting your faith in Allah, you're obviously showing some taqwa, that you believe in Allah in a certain way.
Yeah, we just got another comment in from Amin Ismail. Salam lads, brilliant show, such an important topic. What's that, plaguing our youth? Positive thinking is key. MashaAllah, keep it up. Jazakallah.
Alhamdulillah, subhanallah.
So that's obviously another £3 donated, which is doubled. Thank you very much for your comment. We appreciate it. It's keeping us going, keeping us motivated.
£19, lads. Subhanallah, nearly at full 20. Inshallah.
I know you got 19 from.
Yeah, it's 50.
Moving on swiftly.
Double, getting doubled.
Oh, it's double, yeah?
Yes,
double
sir.
every. Oh, calm.
All right.
Inshallah.
So we talked about how we should change ourselves inside, but sometimes the negativity that we experience is from external factors, our environment. So it might be our friends or the locations we find ourselves at, the scenarios we find ourselves at. So sometimes it might not be a case of changing ourselves, our own attitudes, but rather changing external factors as much as you can. So maybe it's a case of changing the people you hang out with, your friend circles, or changing the locations you go at to socialize or take part in other kind of activities. So if you're surrounded by positivity, you're going to have positive thoughts, you're going to have a positive mind. So inshallah, let's try do that. Let's try implement that into our lives.
Ameen. May Allah constantly allow us to feel more positive, allow us to make those around us feel positive just through actions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Islam is such a easy religion to follow. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written it like black pen on a white paper. Everything is laid out. And subhanAllah, Allah is wanting to give us reward and wanting us to work towards a better us, because Allah doesn't want us to be unhappy, does He?
No,
He only wants us to be happy.
We have to be
and
happy.
He's told us how we can do that. And I want to ask you guys, what is one way you can have a positive impact on someone's life? So I'll start off. I'll say kind words.
Yeah.
What do you always say?
I'd say complimenting someone, saying something good about them,
kind
or
words.
the way they look as well. Yeah.
I think asking people about their day, like.
We're saying kind words. What about a different action? What would you say? Something other than words to someone.
Other than words, buying gifts for people. So this is something that I'm trying to.
I'd say you're honouring someone in a handshake. So when you shake a brother's hand, honour them like you're showing
Give
value
them
to them.
respect.
That's it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that, man.
So before you said something, what were you doing? Were you buying gifts for someone? You buying gifts for us?
Maybe you never know, innit? You never know.
Jazakallah, brother.
I just want to share a story. I shared it on my WhatsApp status. I don't know if you guys seen it a couple days ago.
Check
I might
WhatsApp
have, but,
status.
yeah, go ahead.
Peak. Anyways,
I'll start checking yours now, inshallah.
This one scenario changed my aspect on that day. Like it uplifted my mood. Sorry, and I'm pretty sure everyone who saw that story or that status, it uplifted their mood as well. So I was just here on Evington Road actually, outside the co-op, and I was at the cash machine taking out some money. And obviously, as we all know, there's usually a homeless man who sits besides that co-op, and he had change on the floor. And a woman crossed the road, and she sent her child back across the road with a £5 note. And this man, as soon as he touched that £5 note, it was in his possession. He was like, "Thank you." He got up, he took he kept the £5, and he had some change, a few like pennies, 20p's, and that. He picked it up. He ran across the street, and there was a charity across the road. They had buckets and they were collecting money, and he put his change into that.
Subhanallah.
And he ran back and he sat down, and I was just like, I was shocked by this.
That is amazing.
So what I did was, after he came back, I was like, that's quite amazing. I was shocked. So I gave him £10, double of what he got from the woman. And this guy straight away got up, got his change again, and ran across the road again. I was like, yo,
that's gratitude, man.
Yeah, sit down.
Subhanallah.
I was like, sit down. This is your money. Relax.
So imagine being homeless and you're still positive.
Exactly.
That's no excuse for any of us.
And I had a quick moment and had a quick chat with this guy, and like he had nothing. Imagine, and his mindset is what's keeping him going in life.
He knows you can never become poor by giving.
He knew that. It's a valuable lesson that unfortunately a lot of us don't know or don't think is true. And literally, just his mindset was keeping him go from day to day. Doesn't have a house, doesn't have a car, doesn't have fancy clothes, nothing. Just has a blanket.
Shows being grateful.
And yeah, literally what people are giving, that's it. Just want to remind everyone that you are listening to the Ramadan special on 102.5 FM. You can tune into our Facebook Live on ramadan.fm. You can text in on 074... Oh, can I have the number back, please? It's 07450925084. Just a reminder that every single text you donate, a total of £6 will be donated on behalf of us and anonymous donor. Or you can call in on 0116 212-9324. We'll be happy to hear your comments, your questions. We'll answer them.
We are answering questions as well, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll just be great to know that there are people tuning in, listening to us, and then help us keep us going through the late hours of the night, inshallah.
Inshallah. So, a quick one then. We're looking to talk about mindsets that affect your outlook of being a positive person, negative person. So there's titles that go with it, being optimistic, realistic, pessimistic. What would you say you guys are?
I would say I'm a cross between positive and realistic, because as you guys mentioned before, there are some scenarios in life where you simply cannot smile or jump around like you're on a bouncy castle or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, say for example, at a janazah or at a funeral, you can't be having amazing vibes. It's a time to sort of think about yourself and
reflect.
Reflect and you're sad as well. So obviously when you're realistic, there are times we might get angry at certain things or feel annoyed at certain things. Like with me, I'd say I'm more of a black and white person. There's no grey areas. If I need to be blunt and straightforward, I would be blunt and straightforward, but in a respectful manner, and always give off that positive vibe at the same time.
Yeah. What about you, Adil? I'll go last. I'll go last.
I would say I'm optimistic and realistic at the same time. I switch between both. So we'll be in a situation and people would think, oh, there's going to be the most positive one. But I'll be realistic at the same time, saying, oh, can we raise £100 in the next minute? So inshallah, may Allah grant us that, but it's very unlikely that we will.
Exactly.
So I'll give you the positive side, saying I hope we do, I pray we do, but it's very unlikely we will.
So you don't like to sugarcoat things basically and sprinkle the pixie dust on that as well.
I've been getting that a lot when I've been told about these cake sales. So you guys make sure you order your cakes for Syrians online, because I've got a target to hit, so as many as I can.
I thought we're raising money for the tough mudder, bro.
Bro, all the money is going towards a good cause.
Alhamdulillah.
Anyway, so me, I'd say I'm similar to you guys. I would say that I'm mostly optimistic, but with a touch of realism.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you can't, as you said, you can't go through life, always, happy, smiling and stuff. There's gonna be times where you gotta be serious, where you gotta understand that things will not go the way you want to go. It's like.
I thought you're always rainbows and daisies, man.
Well, I am for the most part. I forgot what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna move on to another point. Like, you get a lot of people ask this question of, are you a glass half full person or a glass half empty kind of person? And obviously people will either answer one or the other, or you'll get that guy trying to be smart saying, oh, it's half water and half oxygen, so it's always a full glass. I don't know if you guys have heard that. But
that's an optimistic person right there.
I don't know about that. But what I want you guys who are listening, I want you guys to have this high level of optimism, whereby if someone asks you that question, or if someone actually does give you a glass that's half full, you got to be thinking that even if the glass was empty completely, at least I've got a glass. At least I've got something.
Alhamdulillah.
And if you drop that glass and it smashes, at least you had a glass. At least you had an opportunity.
You've got shards of glass that you can. Well, shards of glass you can
put together.
Okay. I think.
No, shards of glass.
I didn't optimism. I just skyrocketed right now.
You can sell the shards of glass to somebody to make it to sound. You can get £1. With that £1, you can buy chocolates. You can sell the chocolates. One for 50p, and you can make your money back. Subhanallah.
That's what business plans going out right now. MashaAllah.
I think the audience as well should comment through on our live and sort of give their opinion on what kind of person they are as well, and why.
A lot of people are on the live right now, so comment. What
comment
are you a positive kind of person? Are you negative? Are you pessimistic?
Let us know,
between all of them.
Have you got a mix? Let us know. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
I could see a few familiar names. I'm not going to say your names, but I know who you are. Inshallah, you can message through. Let us know your thoughts on being positive and optimistic. Am I right, guys?
Of course.
Yeah.
And that money, what happens with that money, Sully?
Goes towards Tough Mudder.
Well, it goes towards Yemen.
Yeah.
It was a Tough Mudder event, right? And
Yeah.
I thought he was asking me, by the way. My bad.
Someone's just texted in saying
The smash
"Salams,
glass, yeah?
This glass analogy has me in stitches. LMAO. it's just the way I look at life. I have a very weird outlook on life.
Wait, what's happened now, guys? Another £6 donated. Subhanallah.
I don't know what the total is right now. Honestly,
We'll let Adil keep count of it.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's the
we'll
fourth
give him that
text.
job.
I think that's the fourth text. So
Fourth text, 4 times by 6.
24.
£24, man. £24. Now, I knew the maths. I was waiting for you to reply.
Yeah.
£24, subhanallah. I'm actually so happy, man. That is
Alhamdulillah.
amazing.
MashaAllah. All right, so I want to touch back. Like we were talking, we were mentioning, a positive mindset in the light of Islam. So basically, Allah will never put us in a situation that we can't get out of. He just wouldn't do that to us. So what this proves to us is, no matter how bad things get, I'm saying it again, aren't I?
It's all right. Go ahead.
But no,
Remind them.
we got the new listeners coming in so they can hear it. So no matter how bad things get, if you prosper and if you have that hope and that faith, you will find a way. Because I know that every single one of you are smart enough, you're wise enough, and you're clever enough to find a solution, to find a way out of the situation that you're in right now. I know it.
Inshallah.
And you know it deep inside as well.
Yeah.
So have that faith and have that hope. Inshallah, you'll get out of any kind of situation that you find yourself in.
I mean, there's a really good quote by Imam Shafi rahmatullahi alayhi. He says, "Let the days do as they please and be optimistic when destiny decrees. Do not despair due to the events of the past, for the events of this world were not meant to last."
I mean, that's
Beautiful
a beautiful
words.
quote, man.
It is amazing. All right, so moving on, I want to ask you guys, do you think it's possible for an individual to be too positive?
It's a good question. But I think my answer would be no. I think someone would confuse being too positive with being naive. So in the sense of, I think it's just about being unrealistic or naive, hoping for the best and expecting the worst, or over-promising and under-delivering.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys continue, and I'd give my thoughts on that.
All right, so...
I think we got a caller.
You got a caller?
Oh, you got a caller!
The phone.
Hey, what happens if someone calls in? What donations?
Wait, we might have to do a double. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How you doing, lads?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, not too bad. It's just I thought I'd give you a little nice visit call. I was going to come down to the radio station.
We were waiting for you, bro.
I think it's a bit late for me, isn't it?
Nah.
No, I know where you live, brother. You can come down.
Yeah.
Listen, if the show's on, I'll come down. I'll give you a few little surprises.
Inshallah.
No, I thought let me call in, let you guys know you've done a great job.
Jazakallah.
I think you guys are doing a tough mudder challenge soon, ain't you?
Yeah, we are.
Inshallah, we're always looking
we
for
wanted to do that
extras.
for ages. We wanted to do that for ages.
You
So
can come down, brother.
Yeah, we're looking for people to register, right?
Bro, yeah, we got spaces.
We got spaces,
open,
man. Come through. Register online, inshallah.
Okay. So talk to me about the situation and how am I going to get involved?
Go on, Essay.
Okay, so to get involved with a Tough Mudder, literally all you got to do is sign up. There's a fee, obviously, per person to take part, which is about £70. And thereafter, as a team, we're collectively working towards raising at least £4,500.
£10,000.
Well, our minimum,
between you guys,
the realistic target is 4,500. The optimistic target is 10,000.
10,000, that's it.
July 28th, probably we can get 10,000.
I'm sure you boys are optimistic though, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
We're looking for that higher target. But basically, this £4,500 that we're looking to donate is going to provide vital aid and medical equipment for the people of Yemen who are basically have no food. So it's going to treat malnourishment, and therefore it's going to provide the treatment for 3 full months. So it's going to literally change lives of thousands of people there. And inshallah, we're looking to impact lives.
What does the event involve? Like, how many miles is it, and how many obstacles are there?
So it's about 8 to 10 miles with about 25 obstacles, obviously in the mud, in the rain, if it's raining.
So there's a lot of preparation for that as well.
Yeah.
That sounds big. I mean, Sully knows when you get to training, it's not a big issue. You know what I mean? So listen, guys, I've got certain people on listening right now, yeah, on the radio.
Yeah.
And obviously, you guys know that right now it's GCSEs time, yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of youths they're going for the exams right now. The situation is, right, you see a lot of kids right now, they're getting a lot of pressure from their parents, especially when they're like middle children or sort of, younger, they've got older siblings, let's just say. Now, the situation is, older sibling might have got A stars and, passed all the exams, is a thing to share with the family, etc. Now, the younger one, who's probably involved at this moment, he's going through a hard time because he's getting that pressure. He probably isn't academically as smart as his older sibling, and he's, his mind's kind of boggling a little bit. So he's thinking, I've got an easy way out. I can probably just, fly through my exams quickly. Whatever happens, if I don't pass whatever, I've got an option, and the option is the roads. How would you? Because look, you guys, I'm sure you haven't. You've been out of school for not so long, right?
About 5 years now.
Just a few years, yeah. What advice would you give to those young people?
I think personally, myself, being that kid who had siblings who did really well and not doing so well myself academically, I could never really smash exams. I'd have to really, really apply myself in order to actually get a decent grade in exams. I don't know about you two guys, but my advice would be is to try, and as long as you've tried your best, psychologically you'll know that as long as I try my best in everything I do, I will be okay. It's the fact of being okay and knowing you'll be okay.
I think, unfortunately, in this day and age, people are too bogged down and too concerned on what grade they get with their exams. At the end of the day, what takes you far in life is the effort and the time that you put into your craft and your graph.
Of course.
That's what's good, because I'm sure we all know people personally who failed in the GCSEs or the A levels, and they've come out way more successful than ourselves because they have that work ethic, and I think that's what takes people far. I don't think it's necessary to be majorly successful in school. As long as you have that work ethic, you can do whatever you want. You can become whatever you want.
Totally agree.
I'd agree with him there. Like, academics is not the only route. Of course, it's a good route, but it's one of the many routes that you have. And I'd say hitting the road is probably the last option anyone should ever have. Because there's so much more to that. Like, literally, fair enough if you don't have A stars. Like, personally, I had A stars in college. I went to uni, but I dropped out in my third month because uni was not it wasn't my aspiration. It wasn't meeting my end goal. Doing business was my end goal. So what I would say is advise these kids to understand that they don't necessarily have to have A stars and A's. They can get C's and D's. They can fail, but it doesn't mean it's over. There are so many avenues to go down, inshallah.
Your grade does not define you. It is essentially just a marking given to you by someone above who's trying to mark your work, right? But what defines you is how you react after those grades. If you get a D, you get an E, you get an F, how do you come back from that? Do you find an avenue that works for you? Because academia is one way of learning, but so many other people have different ways of putting out their art. Like, for example, Albert Einstein, the so-called world's smartest man in academia, was failed and deemed an idiot, a failure. But outside of that, he was the world's smartest man because his brain worked differently. So tell the young gentleman, inspire him and tell him, these grades do not define you. Find out what you enjoy and go all at it. And if you want, put that young gentleman in such waves of positivity, and inshallah, we will see
open up
if we
some
can.
avenues for him.
We'll find a way for him.
I think before
inshallah.
we let you go, sorry.
Go on.
So in terms of like this optimistic and realistic mindset, obviously everyone says you can become whatever you want to be, and I do believe that to an extent. I think that you can be whatever you want to be, but the realistic aspect has to hit in. So for example, if there's two people that want to become a millionaire, one of them lacks the opportunity, one of them is born in a third world country or in a poor family, they're going to have to work harder than the other person who's been born into a rich family. They can both become millionaires, but the difference is how much effort one has to put in the other. So it is possible for you to become whatever you want, really, as long as you put that effort and time in again.
Yeah, until the kids stay off the streets, there's people trying to get out of that, not go into it.
Sure, And how would you advise the parents in the way they react to their kids maybe not doing so well on their grades?
To understand that not everyone has the same journey. Like the parents might be lawyers, doctors, accountants, etc. But it doesn't mean that your child has to be as well. Like with my parents, when I told them I was leaving uni, they were all right with that because I told them and I proved to them what I could do without uni. So I think everyone has their own avenues, and they just need to be more open-minded and understand that degrees and academics are not the only options that we have in this day and age in the 21st century.
The one way.
On that note, boys, I'm literally outside the radio station. You're gonna have to let me in.
Oh, subhanallah,
This is my
inshallah.
introduction, lads.
We're gonna see if we can get you in.
Inshallah, we'll see if someone can let you in, inshallah.
Or something.
Knock on the window.
I'll
Alright.
catch up with you guys in a minute.
Inshallah, see you in a bit, brother.
Alright, okay, Assalamu alaikum, bro. Okay, so I don't know if we're gonna let him in or not, but we're just gonna touch on to advice. How can people be more optimistic or bring this kind of positive mindset into their life? What advice would you have for people?
Islamically or just generally?
Just generally. Alright, it looks like I'm gonna kick it off then.
Go on, yeah.
We've touched up on a lot of
we
positivity.
have 100% we have. So I'd say there's a couple of obvious ones. You know, have a more healthy lifestyle. Use positive self-affirmations. One big thing is be open to humor, have fun, and enjoy and appreciate life. I think if you're being too serious at times, you're going to suffer. You're going to find it difficult to have that optimistic lifestyle. So you've got to be open to humor. You've got to have fun, and you've got to find the good things in life. Find the funny things in life. You know, sometimes. You know how people always say, when in a bad situation, they always say, oh, in 10 years, we're going to be laughing at this.
Yeah.
Because you are, really.
Yeah.
So that should keep you, keep on going in them kind of situations. Inshallah.
There's always an end to trials at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts forever.
Knife's going to knock you down, right? It's always going to have bumps and scratches and bruises, a few broken bones, but does that kill you?
No. In fact, you learn most from them kind of situations.
When a bone breaks, do you know that the second layer is actually stronger than the first layer?
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I actually put this. I put this on my WhatsApp status, but clearly no one's looking at it, so I'm going to read it out for you guys. So what I said was, every single hardship, failure, heartbreak, and setback teaches us lessons and gives us opportunity to grow, to become smarter, wiser, and stronger physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But that growth only comes if we recognize that opportunity and we acknowledge that opportunity to become stronger and wiser. Our failure to recognize the opportunity is just going to lead us to have negative thoughts, and it's going to impact our lives in a very negative manner.
But have you ever been through a very tough trial in your life? Subhanallah, Brother Ifaz just walked in. Brother Ifaz, we're just talking about how do you get through trials and tribulations. And I was just mentioning a crucial point that I thought you might yourself have an answer for. But when you go through tough situations in your life, does it make you stronger? Does that influence how your journey flows? Or do you feel like that has an impact on your growth?
First of all, I believe in two things, okay? Whenever you're going through any trials and tribulations, you can either go in one or two ways. You can either turn very cold and you kind of blame everything else on what's happened to you and why is this and why is that. I have been there. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been there. But then also on the flip side, you can also, turn out to be positive. You can, kind of, if you've got some kind of faith, and it doesn't have to be Islam or anything like that at all, right? But if you've got some kind of faith or you believe in something, it's like, for example, Sully, you dropped out of uni. I'm sure when that happened, you was in a bit of a predicament that, you've got no choice but to start this business.
That's it. All the pressure's on my shoulders now.
Exactly, yeah. Because already you've told your parents that I'm leaving uni.
Yeah.
Your friends, and I'm not saying all your friends, but there's certain people in your circle probably saying, what the hell are you doing?
You made a bad decision, that's it,
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So then that happens, and then you've got no choice but to do it. But then that becomes your fuel.
Exactly,
Okay?
my drive, that's
exactly,
what it was,
yeah. And, don't get me wrong, I've been following you guys for a long time. I know you guys very well, mashallah,
Exactly, I appreciate that.
It just goes to show that when you're really, like I said, really positive, you've got a positive mindset, when you're giving that energy out to others as well, you're only going to get back better.
Indeed.
I agree, 100%.
Good point.
So, everyone's seen and I don't want to really mention this, but everyone's watched Rocky Balboa, right? Yeah. Rocky 6, when he's talking to his son, and his son's saying, "Dad, you're the reason behind my failures." And he makes that famous speech that knife's going to knock you down. It's going to have bumps and roads, but how you react to it defines you as a human being. And I always say this, without the trials and tribulations in your life, they make you into the new person you are. When you're growing up and you learn to walk, you fall down so many times, but you end up learning how to walk. That same concept has to be taken into everything you do in your life. If you have a failed business, it's going to teach you failures that you're not going to put into your next business.
Indeed,
And you keep trying. If you fail at making it pro as a footballer or a sports star, you keep going until you find your final self that can actually handle the hardships that will come with becoming a boxer, footballer, a golfer, etc.
The greatest lessons in life are taught through failure. You learn that stuff down in the pits, down at the bottom, rock bottom. That's where you learn everything. That's where you learn how to climb. You don't learn how to climb at the top of the hill or the mountain. You got to start from the bottom to get to the top.
Alhamdulillah.
So as millennials, we sort of describe these setbacks as L's, right? We always call them L's or losses. Now there's a surah from the Quran I want to mention. Yeah, it's called Surah Ash-Shr. It's in the 30th parah. I recommend everyone to read that surah in Arabic and read the translation, because it's about everything to do with lifting the anchor from your shoulders. Now there's a certain ayat from that surah which is فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. That means, so verily with every hardship comes ease, and indeed with every hardship comes ease. Now I was watching a video from Mufti Menk. He was basically elaborating on that point, and he was basically saying that Allah is basically telling you that every time you face a difficulty, there is some sort of ease that will help you within that difficulty. And that ayah is mentioned again, so it's repeated twice. And what Mufti Menk was saying was that after that difficulty is done and after that ease has been given, Allah gives you another ease on top. So there's two eases basically. So there's like this word I made up myself called blessings, and that's basically an intertwined with blessings and losses. And what I genuinely believe, and I've been inspired by this surah to sort of make up this word, is that whenever we go through hurdles and obstacles in life, always remember that Allah is going to shower you with blessings after that. So don't lose hope. Have faith in Allah.
I think a new WAP thing should be we always want blosses.
I mean, I kind of forgot what I was going to say there here, but just going back to blessings as well. I mean, there's a couple of things there. First of all, everything happens for a reason. Second of all, everything that you go through, every hardship that you go through, it is always a blessing in disguise, and I can tell you that from experience.
Of course.
And you got to look at it like this. I mean, look, end of the day, whenever you're going through something, like you're going through a bit of a rough time, you're getting dragged through, the dirt or whatever you want to call it, right? You're never going to realise it. Yeah, the drag through the mud, like you're going to tough mud on everything. You're going to go through some really good mud. Do you know what I mean? But look, end of the day, you're not going to realise when you're in it. And it's said that, Allah tests those He loves most.
Of course.
If we really understood what that really meant and what that feels like, you know what I mean? We'd be saying, Allah, give me more. Do you know what I mean? Give me more hardship in this
especially for the hereafter.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And we don't realise it. And again, it goes to, I don't know if you guys have been talking about this, but it goes down to things like what I was saying about, how you were starting a business and you probably had people telling you, don't do this, don't do this, and that thing. And then you got like these things, whether you want to call them haters, whatever you want to call it. But do you know what it is? I mean, let's go back to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, okay? The most perfect being to ever walk this earth.
Of course.
Yet, how many people used to, badmouth him? How many people went against him when all he tried to do was portray or put out a positive message, put out Islam, saying no matter what, and even if it wasn't Islam, all he's trying to do is show good character. Even then, he was still, being told this and that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we need to understand these things. And we need to say, look, if the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went through it, if we're looking at businessmen or whoever we look up to in this day and age,
who are we?
Do you got what I mean? Who are we? And we should easily. We've got everything. We've got every resource on the tip of our fingers.
Yeah.
There's like, you got a laptop in front of you. I've got a smartphone in front of me. I can go online right now. I don't even need a penny to start a business.
Yeah.
Do you got what I mean? And mashallah, you guys, I mean, like I said, I follow you guys. I see everything you do. You've got your Waves of Positivity page. You've got everything that you're doing as well. Yeah. And you're literally starting it from scratch. Exactly. Now, the thing about business, bro, is, or whatever you want to do whenever you're chasing your dreams, right? It's never going to come straight away. And that's the best thing about it. The best thing about business is when you're trying to chase a dream is the come up. Because when you're chasing money, you're never going to get money. If you're chasing the dream, every little step you take, every little downfall you have, every little setback, every little milestone that you reach, it's the thrill that you get out of it. And that thrill creates the happiness.
So me and Sully, all of us actually, were big fans of Gary Vee, right?
Yeah.
And Gary Vee was saying, if there was anything I could do in my life, I've got all the money I need now. If there's anything I wanted was to be back at the get up, right from the very start. Because you'd become a bit addicted to self-growth and becoming a better person.
Yeah, it's a hobby, man. It's a hobby.
All right, okay, so just before we finish up, I just want to make one last point. Your ability to find the positive in the darkest situation is what's going to give you power. Honestly, that's what's going to keep you going. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say that for every comment from now on, while the live is still on Facebook, we'll donate now. If you want to text in, you got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left to text in, and we'll add it on to our donations.
You got my £3 in, yeah?
Yeah. Don't worry, we're on about 5 texts so far. So
No, about 4 messages with £24. If we can make this more, inshallah, it's all going to the children of Yemen. And that's what it end up. We've got 50 seconds left. Me and Sully P to drop our, and EFAS to drop our quotes. So we got given one today by a brother called Ibrahim, who's, mashallah, very inspiring as well. He said, without manure, a rose cannot grow. So without any negative impact in your life, you as a person will not flourish and grow. And that inspired me when he told me before the show started, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I'd say my quote is from our first ever Waves of Positivity video is, negativity can only keep you in the same position or possibly bring you back. Positivity always wins, it alleviates your difficult affairs and leverages your success.
Alhamdulillah. But Ifaz, what's your quote for people to take away today?
I'm a very simple person, I'm a very traditional guy. At the end of the day, you just can't give up on what you're doing. You know, at the end of the day, you got haters, whatever it is, you just got to keep going, you got to keep going, you got to keep going. The only person that can stop yourself from being successful is yourself.
Alhamdulillah. So we've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Please text in, let us know. And inshallah, we hope that we've inspired some people today, man.
That was our goal. We hope we've changed mindsets today. I want to thank everyone that's tuned in to our shows the last 3 weeks. Everyone who's texted in, everyone who's messaged us personally to tell us how we've done. And I want to wish you all Eid Mubarak. I know it's very early, but this is my last opportunity to say it to everyone. So, inshallah, I hope we all make it to Eid and we all have a blessed Eid, inshallah.
Inshallah. We've got one in.
Here we go.
So, guys, make another
£6, mashallah. So that's 5 in total, yeah?
She also says, I hope you all reach the level of success that you pray for, inshallah.
And that's what it's saying to everyone, man.
Vice versa, yeah. Back at you and everyone that's watching this.
Alhamdulillah. So, how much we are now? So
£30.
We are at £30.
Sorry, I'm going to have to cut you there. Do you know what?
We got another text.
We got another text, but on top of that, I really love what you guys are doing, and you guys are doing certain things that I've been trying to do for ages, and it's good to see young people doing it. So inshallah, I won't disclose how much, but inshallah, I'm going to try and put in a little donation.
Jazakallah khairan.
Final update. Currently, we're on £36. So that's what's going to go towards thing. If you guys still want to comment, you can continue to comment, share the video, get other people to comment, and inshallah, our thing will increase. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak.